In other words, faith evidences itself by reflecting God's promises. And so if you see this picture and you see this amazing reflection of the mountain, you know what happens when there's water, right? You see a reflection. Now here's what he's saying. This is what faith is, okay? Let's just assume that the mountain is God's promise and the reflection is our faith. If you could not see the mountain, but you saw within the water that reflection, you would have a really good understanding of what that mountain was supposed to look like and what it does look like. And similarly, if there was no water, which means there was no reflection and you just saw the mountain, but if you could imagine with your eyes a lake underneath that mountain, you could imagine what the reflection would look like because it would be basically the counterpoint to the mountain, right? The mountain is the promises of God. The reflection is the faith of the believer. In other words, when God comes to us and he says, I desire for you to take some of your resources and give it to kingdom causes, that is a command. And then he says a promise, and I promise I'm going to take care of your needs. And then all of a sudden, faith comes behind it. And we either believe that promise or we don't. We either distort the image of the reflection of what he's commanded or we imitate. We give a good reflection or a bad reflection. In other words, in everything that God is calling us to do, a life of faith leads other people to look at our life and say, you really must believe that God is going to fulfill his promise. So ask, are you growing in your faith?